But the adults in the conversation, and by the way, there are some, know the score. According to a CNN report this afternoon, top Democrats secretly admit to one another that this isn't working. They're not going to get Trump through impeachment hearings. They're not convincing voters the president should be removed a year before the election. It has nothing to do with getting that done. They're impeaching Trump for the benefit of the true believers who watch MSNBC in primetime, who think Chuck Todd is like a newsman. This is all a sham. It's a variety show staged for the benefit of the party's donors and its activists. It's not actually going to move votes. And by the way, the sober Democrats, and there are some, there's a lot at stake here. Not everyone's a buffoon. There's some smart people in this game. And the smart ones know that. They also know that in the end, impeachment could very well wind up hurting them, hurting the Democratic Party, just like it hurt the Republican Party in 1998 when they impeached Bill Clinton for much clearer reasons than they're impeaching Donald Trump. So, in fact, it likely will hurt the Democrats, and that's starting to dawn on them now. And that realization is having an interesting effect. It always does. At the moment you realize you're not convincing anyone, the moment you get that your propaganda is impotent, you change. And in this case, the establishment is basically doing less and less to conceal what they're really up to. Here's one example. Early this morning, Bloomberg News, named after the guy who's running for president, by the way, published this tweet summarizing the first day of hearings. Keep in mind, Bloomberg News is a news operation, and we're quoting. The first public impeachment hearing against Donald Trump laid out how a handful of loyalists, led by Rudy Giuliani, wrested control of U.S. policy from seasoned diplomats. Wrested control of U.S. policy from seasoned diplomats, presumably in whose hands it should remain. Consider that for a minute. By the way, that's the underlying assumption of all the dumb people. Chuck Todd believes that as a matter of faith. But is there a clearer inversion of the Constitution of the United States? Hard to think of one. Diplomats don't control foreign policy. They carry it out. Who controls foreign policy? Well, voters do. They control their country, in fact, through their elected officials. So it doesn't matter if every single bureaucrat in the State Department disagreed with the president's policy on Ukraine or whatever. Russia or Burkina Faso, fill in the blank. It doesn't matter. Their job is not to make policy, it's to affect it. It's to carry it out. They work for the president, all presidents, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, Obama, Trump, doesn't matter. Whoever's elected next, when Chelsea Clinton becomes president, they'll take orders from her. Good. They take orders from the elected person because that person was elected and they weren't. The president is the only person with power in the executive branch. That's how democracies work. And that's why in Washington, almost nobody still supports democracy. Buck Sexton is host of the